is everyone doing tonight? So, I'm back tonight. This has been filmed before Christmas, of course it is, to show you something I've been working on. So every year, me and Angie, we'd make a sort of like a hamper, but it isn't, sort of like a box of gifts. Some of the gifts are handmade, some are shop bought. It's mainly handmade. So this year I was really stuck as to what to buy her, because I was thinking, oh, what do I buy her that she hasn't already got? And the one thing that I thought of was something that she really desperately wants to make. She's been going on about it for months on end now. She bought books, she bought music notes, she bought maps, she bought tags, she's bought pockets, she's bought downloaded papers, you name it, she's bought it. But the only thing that she hasn't done is been able to put it together. And what am I talking about? I'm talking about a junk journal. So Angie has really struggled with putting it all together. She said, I don't know how you've made two, because I don't know where to start. I'm watching all these videos, getting a load of inspiration, and then I go to my desk and then it's like I have a freeze, and then I go back to making my fabric. So this year I thought, instead of buying her like laces like I bought last year, doilies, things like that, I thought this year I'd make something that she could use. And the thing that I'm talking about again is a junk journal. So I have actually made it a junk journal. I haven't quite finished it. This is what it looks like so far. I haven't quite finished it yet though, so you will see it at finished, what it's like on a finished level once I finish it, once the video goes up, of course. But to go alongside that now, that's got loads of tags, you name it. It's got tags, the envelopes, the lot, and it's jam-packed full. I mean, you only have to look at it to know I've stuffed as much as I can into this little book that I know that she's gonna thrive off. But I thought Angie wants to make her own, so apart from me making one, I wanted to give her something that she was able to look at and get some inspiration from, because Angie's a bit like me in some ways, that if we really want to make something, we've got to see it in order for it to be processed in our minds in order to make it. So I thought, well, why not? Now I'm gonna I've made her something else, which again I will show you guys what I've made her. But in this basket that I've made her, that's got things in, is all things that she can use to make her own junk journal. That's the idea. That's what I had in mind. So I really do hope Angie appreciates it. I'm really wanting to make a junk journal. If not, I am stuffed. So I'm going to show you the kind of things that I've been busy making tonight for her. I'm filming before Christmas, but this actually will go up after Christmas. So I'll talk you through each bag. Some of the things, they are self-explanatory, so you'll be able to see exactly what they are before I explain and go into it. So the first two things are pretty much the same. So I will take out this bag, and before I begin, each packet has got some backing paper behind it. Now, with everything I've made, I didn't want to glue it to the paper, because I thought if I glue it to the paper, she's either going to do two things. She's either going to cut around and be absolutely stuck to the paper that I've used and not be able to use the paper as it is, or she's not going to be able to see where she can stick it and use it. 'Cause she might want to stick these in the journal I made her, or she might want to stick these in the journal that she's making. Hoping that she's going to stick it into the journal she's making. So, the technique these are made out of. First of all, I've made us some picture ephemeras. So these can be used in various different ways. the first thing that they can be used for is they can be put on the edge of a page, and you could, if you glued down the edges, down the bottom, back at the edge, you could use it as a pocket. That's the first thing. She could use it on the top and have a little pocket, or even like anywhere on the page, because they act as little pockets. She could even just use as is, just stick it completely flat and not use it as a pocket and just write around it. Now, I made these, as you notice, all the paper on the back is all brown. Now, I haven't actually used any ink, as in such. I used a distress spray, and it's a little technique that I've been playing about with, that I'm gonna do a video, because I've actually used this technique to make a picture ephemera, but originally I was making words ephemera, which I'm going to show you now in a second. So I've made a couple of these. These were actually tags, and all I've done is I've just cut the image away from the tag. These tags came from Pinterest. I actually found a site. What I did was I went onto Pinterest and I typed in printable downloadable ephemera, and a website came up, and on the website there's paper, there's tags, there's tickets, there's tags, there's pictures, you name it, it's on there. So what I did was I took the tags from that website and I used them to make these picture ephemeras. So I have actually made 4, even though you can see 3. I'll tell you where the 4th one is in a second. So this is what I've made, and again, I didn't use glue to stick these down because she would have been stuck with the paper. What I used instead of, I was twiddling my thumbs and came across this. This is tacky wax. This is what us miniatures use to stick little bottles on shelves to make sure that they don't move. And it's basically wax, and it can come away. It can be used. She's going to feel it a little bit tacky, but it's not going to be an issue when she goes to use it. But all I wanted it for was for it to stay in one place on the paper in order for me to decorate the packaging, and in order for me to able to show what kind of things I've got in there without it being stuck. Those are those 2. And the paper behind, I'll show you the paper pad I used. So there's that one, those 2. And like I say, oh, and the edges, that's the other thing. With the edges, the tags come basically, let me show you a tag. It comes exactly like that, and you just cut them down. So my corner punch has 2 different shapes on it. The first shape it has on it that allows me to do is corner the edge off completely. It allows you to corner it off. The second shape it allows you to do is punch the corner in. So as you can see, 2 different, and you'll have to excuse my hands, they're full of the sprays. 2 different edges to the card. So what I did was I chose this edge to create this picture, and I chose the corner to go around it on this one because I like the idea of the daisies, and I know that Angie's going to love that one because she loves flowers. So there's that one. On this one, I did exactly the same. It's not stuck to the paper. I've used tacky wax instead of. And I've gone in with this one, cut the tag down. The technique on the book pages, now I used 4 book pages to create everything I'm going to show you in a second. And 4 book pages, that's all I used. But the technique to how I did it, I'll have to come back and show you, because like I say, it's a really good technique, and if you've got time to do it, the effect is really worthwhile. So there's that one. Now the paper pad that you're seeing, because it's absolutely stunning paper, because I thought she could reuse the paper if she wanted to, is Shabby Chic paper pad, and it's by Craftwork Cards, and it's got just different papers in. Some of them I've already used. And there's, okay, over that way, there's that one. And there was there a blue one? No, there wasn't a blue one in this one. It was just that. So she can reuse the paper. So there's that one there, and then if I flick over, you'll see the other one. Again, if she glues on the back and on the sides down the bottom, she's got an actual tuck, or she can use as it is on her page. The beads itself, I've just taken them back from, they've just got like a sticky back into them. Not glue, just like a sticky back that can be pulled off and she can reuse it. So there's one of them on there. So I've actually made 4. So there's them ones. The other thing that I made, I'm going to move that, and they've all done by, all the images and all the things I've created, they've been stuck on the paper with tacky wax because she's able to take it off at the end of the day. So the other thing I made was these. Now, these are some mason jars. But as you can see, they are really pretty. They've got fairy images in them. Now, these didn't actually come off Pinterest. These were uploaded by a lovely lady called Alice, who's in a group called Shibling Vintage and Lace on Facebook. And every Sunday she uploads ephemera. So, you name it, tags, mason jars, some dress forms fairly recently, vintage images, you name it, she's uploaded it. So what I thought was, I liked the idea of a mason jar because Angie can either use it as a tag or, like I say, use it as a pocket. If she's stuck down the corners on the edge, she could use the actual mason jar as a pocket. So I use like I'm going to use Roxy Carlson fuzzy wool to go around the edge. And then I used these flowers. Now these flowers I had from Country Baskets. And all they are is just paper, ordinary flowers. They haven't got anything special bar the colour. I love the colour of them. So with this one, what I've done is I've taken a brush and some 3D pearl effects. Don't know where, I just really apologise for the glare, guys. And I've dragged the brush from the outside of the petal in to give me the 3D pearl effects on the petal. So that enables me to have that effect on there. And then on the wings, as you can clearly see, it is shining. It's not the packaging. That's glossy accent. And I put on a fairly quite thick layer and I let it dry. And then the little dots are Nouveau drops, crystal drops. They're absolutely brilliant and I would recommend for anybody to get. On the back there's another one, which I love. Again, Nouveau drops for the little dots and some glossy accent for the wings. Some of these pearls she can easily take off because I wanted to reuse the paper because I know Angie always does that anyway. A mason jar came from the same place, some fuzzy wool, and then this time on the flower, instead of dragging the brush, I actually used the 3D pearl effects and I put it right on the edge of the flower. Can you guys see that? And then I used the Nouveau drops on the leaves, and that works just as well. So I used, this one is called Pink Pastel. So those are those mason jars that I have done. So that's 3. So the next thing I'm about to show you are these. Now these are slightly different. These are things that you can use on the edge of a book. So on each thing that you see, there's a little paper that goes with it. The paper's not actually to go with it. The paper's to show Angie what I've made them for. So these little corner tacks, because that's what they are, they just stick on the corner of your book and you can write a little hidden message in there and just fold it back. And they're to go right on the edge of the corner of your book. And I've made a right one and I've made a left one to go on the right and left pages. Now these were made out of the book pages, like I say, and these were made out of scraps of what they called laces and some of those big flat back beads. These are 1.5 inch by 1 inch. That's how big they are. And then this one's exactly the same, only I've just left the inside blank, completely and utterly blank. But I just wanted Angie to have a feel of what I've used it for. Now the pieces of paper, like I said, they are to show Angie what they're made for, but she could use the pieces of paper again in the book if she wanted. That's if she wanted, but I didn't. With me making these kind of things, I was thinking it's just as important as making them as it is displaying what I've made for her. So these little things that I've made, now I've made 3 of these. This one measures 3 inches by 1/2 inch, and these are like little tabs. So these are little tabs. So in the journal I've made for her, that's the little tab I'm going on about, that little guy there. So I thought about making some in paper form so she can have some in her own journal. So you can have them on the corner of your book, running alongside. You can have it on the top, totally up to you. So there's that one. Now there's this little one, which isn't that big actually. This one is 2 inches by 1/2 inch. She's not big at all. Again, some scrap laces, and I used it plain inside, so you can write a hidden message inside, and that tacky wax comes off, so I'm not really worrying about the tacky wax at all. This one, since it keeps coming off, let me show you. This one's a bit bigger of a corner tuck spot. This one is 2.5 inches by 2.5 inches. Some scrap lace, and I used those paper leaves from the flower set to create this corner thing. That technique again, using a spray rather than the ink. And again, I've used a piece of card to show Angie that, you know, she could either use the card or she could. It's totally up to her. And then this one is done exactly the same way, except I put 3 butterflies on. Can you all see the butterflies? And then in each butterfly there's a small, tiny, small flat back pearl. And this one measures at 3 inches, and that's 1/2 inch wide. So she can put them on her book and just yeah, make like little, what do you call them, like little file, almost like, you know, like file folders, the little tabs. That's what I was after, the tabs, to make little tabs. And like I say, I wanted to give Angie some inspiration on creating her book, because I'm dying to see what her book will look like. No doubt she will use a lot of pink, because that's what she's like, and I should imagine it'd be very shabby and chic. Anyway, needless to say, so there's them ones. The other ones I made for her are these. Now these ones I will have to take out the packaging. I'm sorry guys about putting them in and out. So these are a bit different. So the top one, again, scraps of lace I've done, and paper flower and a flat back pearl, and I've created 2 butterflies, one on the actual paper and then one by the flower. And then this pops up and then pops down, and then what I've done is I've taken it in with my corner punch. I used the technique of the spray to give that oldiness to the page, and I also used a writing stamp, which is nowhere near me, but I also used a stamp as well over the top. Now with this one, she could have it on the top of her page, she could bring it down the bottom, flip it up. It's totally up to her where she would want it, but it's to give her, like I say, it's to give her some sort of an idea what she can, how she can make her pockets. So there's that one. I will come back and I will show you how to do the technique, or video might be uploaded, how to do the technique and how I've created all these tuck spots using 4 pieces and only 4 pieces book pages. and I used all the scraps as well. So this one's slightly different. It's a bit deceiving. So again, scrap faces, some flower, paper flower there, and that's come off a vintage wedding dress and just glistens. So this one comes up, and then she's got all the writing there, and I've added a touch of lace there as well, and then it also comes out that way. So she could, if she wanted to, she could have it like I'd had it, so it comes up and then back out. She could have it, where's that one? She could have it, no, that way. Bear with me. She could have it this way. No, that way. There. She could have it on the corner. So the corner, because if you have a look at it, it's like a corner edge. So if she matches the corners up and she puts a little bit of glue just on the back and on the bottom, and presses it up against the paper, she's got a corner tuck. She's got all that writing space there. She can use this as a pocket. And then if she flips it over, say this is glued down on that end, she's got then all this writing space and that writing space. So this one gives them more of a choice really than the first one I showed you. Or she could stick it on the edge, she could flip up that way, and it could flip up across. It's just totally how she wants it in a book, even if she puts it in a book, but it's to give us some sort of an idea. But I will come back and show you how I've created these two especially, because I've seen like envelopes being made, but I haven't seen that bottom one being made. And that bottom one being made, I do apologise for the noise, the dogs have just decided to bombard me. That bottom one being made, it's I was just messing about with paper, so I will come back and show you how I've created that. So those are those 5 ones. Now the last one I'm about to show you, you've probably heard me saying a lot about the same technique. I'll come back and show you the same technique. Well, this is what I've done. This is the very last one. This is word ephemera. And as you can see, I have created some words for her to use in her journal. Now, there is a process and a stage to making these. So some of the words you'll see, there's dream, wish upon a star, crafting, friendship, love, my BFF, that had to go in. One of Angie's sayings is pink a dink, so that had to go in. You're so talented, because I always say that to her. Heart across the pond, I'd pick you a million times, beautiful, create, believe, all different words that she can use in her journal. And she could also use these on her cards, because I know she likes using cards, making cards. And as you can see, I don't know whether the camera will pick it up, as you can see, the paper and the back, they're all stuck down using that tacky wax, but the paper on the back is book pages. But there is a technique to me making these. Let me try, I'm going to try my very best to show you what it looks like without the glare. And I've kept some of the wording from the book pages too, and they just look awesome. I absolutely love these. So whatever the word, I'm going to come back and show you how I've created them. So there's them. So Ange, this is how I've created your little bits and pieces. So she's got 6 sort of bags floating around that I've created. The words for me, the same technique I used to do the words, I used to make all the little bits and pieces. Must be my favourite thing amongst all of it. But I really do hope Ange still wants to make her journal. I really do hope she does, because every time she asked me, she said, "Oh, Claire, I don't know where to start. Where would you start?" And I was like, "Oh, just look on YouTube, Ange. Yeah, just look." I was trying to give her every excuse possible to look everywhere else. But the whole idea, the whole time I had it in my head, I just wanted to give us some sort of an inspiration on for Christmas time, and that like I say, I made her journal. I haven't finished her journal, but it's filled. It's absolutely jam-packed, filled full of things. And I'll give you sneak peeks of what it looks like. See, there's like it's just jam-packed full of stuff. There's loads of writing spaces and just, oh, there's just endless possibilities in this book. But I really do hope that the next video we see of Angie in the new year is her starting her journal, because I think she's a wonderful paper crafter and I love her cards. Her cards, every time I get a card off her, I'm just bewildered at how beautiful it looks, because they're the most beautiful cards, and I cannot wait for her to create a journal. When she said she wanted to do one, I was just blown away, because I was thinking in the back of my mind it's only a matter of time since Angie wants to do one. So I cannot wait for her to start crafting and start sort of getting some inspiration of how to do one and where to begin, because it's like I said to Angie, when I first started doing a journal, I found YouTube, there's some amazing videos out there on how to do one, beginner videos, you know, there's amazing channels to watch, but the more you watch, it became too overwhelming for me. So I had to watch all these videos, and I didn't watch anything for 2-3 days, and I had to sort of sink in what I had watched, and then I had created little bits and pieces, and I made a little mock-up. I remember my mock-up, made a little mock-up of my little book, and went from there. That's how mine developed. But yeah, I'm so excited to give this to her. So excited, really, really eager. But this is not finished. This is just a part of it. This is genuinely not finished at all. So I'm going to love and leave you all now. Thank you all for watching. Like I say, you'll be watching this after Christmas. But Angie would have received it by then. So Ange, I really do hope that you loved what I made you. And I shall see you all in my next video. Please leave some comments below on what you think. Is there anything that you've seen that I haven't said that I would come back and do, or like, is there anything that you would like to look at? I will do a video on this journal that is coming up. I will promise I will do a video on that. But yeah, I cannot wait to start crafting. I cannot wait to start crafting. Can't wait to start giving this to Angie, and for her to, I just can't wait. I can't wait to see her face, to be honest. I really can't. So yeah, I'm going now. So good night, God bless. If you're watching in the morning or afternoon, good morning, good afternoon. Thank you all for watching. Thank you all for subscribing. Keep watching, because I'm going to be doing a challenge coming up soon. And I will speak to you all in my next video. Take care. Bye for now.